Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. Today's video is directed at beginner blues and rock guitar players. I'll be showing you 5 patterns or sequences to be played within the pentatonic scale. Of course, the pentatonic scale is one of the first scales that we come across when we learn the instrument. And once we get it under our fingers, well, the next challenge is to figure out what to do with it. You can hear these patterns in the playing of Eric Clapton, Angus Young, Jimmy Page, and many, many more. So click on the link to grab the tabs and let's get started with pattern number 1. Okay, so all of these examples are going to be in the key of D minor pentatonic, and here is the scale. I chose this key because the frets are a little bit closer way up high in the neck and it might be a little bit easier for you to move around. Alright, so pattern number 1. I'll play it first and then we'll break it down. Now, like all of these patterns, essentially you're going to be picking a note to start on and then descending by a number of notes. In this case, it's 3. So you're going to start on your D, and then you're going to descend by 3 notes in the scale. Then you go to the next lowest note of the scale. This would be C, and again you would descend by 3 notes. So now we have this. Now you go to the next lowest note of the scale. In this case, we had done D, we had done C, and now it's A. So altogether we have now G, F, and the D. So nice and slow we have. And this pattern is played in triplets, so it would sound like this: 3, 4. Okay, so scale pattern number 2, it looks like this. Alright, so for this pattern, you're going to play your note, and then you're going to play the note below that. The note below that in the scale, of course. So that took care of the D, and now the next note up is the F. You could play it here, but it's much easier to play it this way. So you have this. Now the G, or the 10th fret here on the A string, the A note on the 12th fret of the A string. So far we have this in our pattern. The next note would be C, or the 10th fret on the D string, and then D. And you can continue. So once again, nice and slow. All right, example number 3, I'll play it first. So this time the pattern is a 4-note cell that looks like this. That's your pattern. Now you go to the next lowest note in the scale, in this case it's C, off the 13th fret on the B string, and you repeat the same pattern. So we have this. A, your next note down. G, 12th fret G string. So far we have. Now you can either play the whole pattern in your phrases, or you can just play a little bit and then use it as a launching pad for other stuff. For example. And now I'll play the whole phrase nice and slow. All right, so pattern number 4 looks like this. And the way that it works is that you take your target note and then you descend the scale by 4 notes. So let's say our target is D, or the 10th fret of the E string. We descend by 4 notes in the scale. So that's your cell, or that's your pattern. Then you take the next lowest note, if you will, which would be C, or the 13th fret of your B string, and you descend by 4 notes there. Now we have this. Now you take the next lowest note, would be A. Again, descend by 4 notes. So far we have this. Now G, or F, and back to D. All right, so pattern number 5 looks like this. And pattern number 5 resembles pattern number 4 quite a bit in the sense that it's a grouping of 4 notes, but this time it is ascending 4 notes. So you take your target note, in this case D, and you move up 4 notes. Then your next highest note would be F. You go up 4 from there. Your G is next, up 4 from G. Then your A, C, and then D. So nice and slow it looks like this. Some of these patterns are actually easier to play when they're quick, because I find your fingers just sort of know what to do and your mind goes on autopilot. And again, if you want to play it as an exercise, yes, for sure, you can play up the whole scale. But when you're improvising and when you're making music, you might want to just use a little bit of it. For example. All right, everybody, that is it for this video lesson. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.